Hello everyone and welcome to Trials of VinTear here on Arcane Focus D&D for session, what again?
25.
Oh, really? If it isn't always the milestones that always bite us in the butt, you might see us in a different
format.
Format, something. I'll figure something out when it comes to editing. Right now, Discord's having some problems, so we are currently on Roll20 using their voice call feature. It's way more acceptable than other things we've tried. It actually has the features we need with a combination of both Opera GX and Roll20. We found a way. Yes.
Yes.
Right now we are episode 25, meaning that we can now rent a car without any of those BS tacked on fees.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag not sponsored.
By who?
Rental cars.
I don't know. Enterprise.
I guess. The world is our oyster now. We have all the money.
We
Sorry.
do?
I laughed.
I'm your Mike. I'm your DM Mike. Joined with me are amazing players. We have Steve.
Just for the government's purposes, I do not have tons of money.
Nick.
Hello.
Temple.
Hello.
Titan.
Howdy.
And Amber.
Hey.
Hey, so I don't think you guys listened to us last time. Just to let you know, this is a pre-recorded episode. Everything's doing edit. We're all doing editing here. So if you see us not reacting to you in chats, it's because we're not actually here. We're from the past. It's also great because we do a lot of editing, so you can watch Short Rest, which comes out on our YouTube channel tomorrow, which is just us hanging out and there actually may be a possibility we don't do Short Rest. It really depends on how the system works, so I'm preference that. But it is a recap show of what we just do today. Also, not sure if you remembered what we said last week, but we have shirts. I'm wearing the Moscow shirt today. Oh, created and illustrated by our lovely Titan Fish Killer. Very well done. It is from our Mage Hand line. Great for those who want a little D&D reference in their clothing, but don't want it to be like a screaming loud banshee. You know, you get to roll math rocks and still not look like a nerd.
Well, what about if I want to walk around like a living grimoire? What about that?
Do I have some news for you? We have stickers of D&D characters like Gina Lee and Moscow. You can also get, in terms of shirts, beyond just the magical mixologist is what I'm wearing today. You can also get the Wizard of Change for those aspiring to worship the Salal. You know, it's great for those upcoming tavern keepers who also want to wear the magical mixologist. So head to our TeePublic shop today and get yourself a shirt. They fit really well. I like them. They are very comfortable. I'm very particular when it comes to my graphic tees. With that all said and done, all of the tech issues, we may run into more. Who knows? You guys ready for a quick recap?
See.
Yep.
With deep breaths, our heroes collect themselves. Tired, beaten, but alive, we make it back to the Bordeaux with a heavy rest. And then the next morning, we had a series of talks of how to proceed with the morning events. We see a scene between Diva and Phoenix. We witness Arrow seeing not only his eye, now blue upon magic, but now full two blue eyes, like his brother's. Now knowing that his brother is an anchor to this undead captain and ship. With a visit from Kristoff, our heroes agreed to help look for the strange shop owner who cursed him for his thievery. Though, with the concern of forward guard still fresh in everyone's minds, our players quickly ushered of what type of activities need to be happen today. First, Dirt Project. Oh, wait, no, not first Dirt Project. First, we go to the marketplace, where all sorts of products are being sold, but a strange scent catches Diva's nose. And within this new space, Phoenix is distracted with a nostalgic sight in a play, and Arrow and Morris find a strange tea shop within this large tent. Within it, an old woman similarly dressed to the description of what Kristoff remembers. And after some talk, discussion, the party is free to enter in the back room where they're currently taking part in a private tea tasting session. Let's see here. We tried to, as the old woman gathered tea leaves, Legati in his now tabaxi form reveals a dead body wrapped in a rug. And while Morris meets with the older woman in the front to distract her while she's picking tea leaves, let's see here. Eventually the cat was out of the bag, and Misumina, the Fae-like being, reveals herself to the party, and a discussion was had in regards to how to release Kristoff from his fate. Eventually, we discussed, or at least Misumina informed them that she felt like returning back to her colony, and in agreement with an escort, she would release that tether that she's holding on to Kristoff and release him from his fate for this little curse he has. Party hesitant. I don't think you guys fully agreed. It was more like, we'll get back to you, or we can come back to confirm. There was a small smile, and you guys left. As you thought ahead and thought, well, let's at least get some money real quick, finish up any business we have here, and went over to our so I think is Daniel Bernstop, the individual who's currently studying a lot of the soil around the kingdom. I'm getting lost in my own notes. I apologize. You guys passed over the dirt in exchange for coin, and looked over his office, learning that some of the soil here had some infused gazing pool water, but more purified, something that you guys are all a little bit more familiar with. And learned that Daniel had a connection to Gordon Brigsby, the Lumber Association, as you guys were currently talking about how to actually get into Jorgenkilm as part of escorting Misumina past the mountains. Now we have some questions and concerns. What do we do with the rest of the day? How long should you be here in the city? And a suggestion got made of maybe focusing on Tavin's mission and going into the Knowing Mistress's library located within the religious district of Outslock. So, because of how life has been crazy, and I have not yet had a chance to revisit my old notes, I believe what we currently are is you guys have exchanged the dirt, have left, and I would assume that you're somewhere around the city, probably in one of those little mini park areas that's here in the stone steps, where you're currently discussing what moves to make. I will say, with your feet, Legati, you definitely do recognize that it's like morning, probably around 11:30 a.m. right now, so it's still early in the day.
Do we know anything about this potential library mission? Anything about when it will be more or less guarded or populated, or anything that would make it crazy to go over and take a look at it right now during the middle of the day?
Remind me, Legati, which one of your parents worked at the academy?
That my mother was the teacher.
Roll me a history check.
Okay.
Likewise, is Arrow aware of the Knowing Mistress?
Roll me a religion check.
I'm kind of amused that we said we wanted to get out of this town as fast as possible, but here we are trying to stay.
It's good money. And if we do it, we'll potentially get something from Tavint. And then once we leave Outslock, we never have to come back.
Exactly. I rolled a 20 and an 8 because I currently have disadvantage on everything because I am so exhausted. So modified, that 8 is a 15 though, because I'm good at history.
Okay. I think that is your second check you've made since utilizing the stone. And so
Yeah, the
that's
cursed stone is cleared, but I still have exhaustion until I do another long rest. So all my ability checks have disadvantage anyway. So.
understood.
Yeah.
15. Yeah. I don't think you would know I think you have an inkling that probably evenings, around a little after 5 p.m. is where the Mentor's Cathedral, which is what it's called, would be closed. Sort of less visitors. It's like one of those historical district spaces where you can walk in, and they do have like gated spaces for guides, for like guided tours. And the reason why you know this is because Ioun, the knowing mistress, is a god of knowledge, is a god of arcane, like studied arcane. And while your family was not a worshiper, it was definitely part of like curriculum that your mother would know and probably had shared during small breaks here and there when you were young, about kind of like, oh yeah, we're going on a trip to, the Mentor's Cathedral, and this is sort of something you're inkling on.
All right,
Arrow.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go to Arrow.
I got a 13.
13. Yeah, I'm going to give you sort of a bare basic because I don't think you would be that knowledgeable of this goddess. Small context clues you've picked up throughout your time. A goddess of knowledge. Studied folk, those who focus on the arcane of the world. She's not an evil goddess, much like how Umberly is, has numerous titles. Hers is more of a good, aligned deity.
Okay. Thank you.
Roll away for a hot second, but yeah, make decisions.
I mean, it is a good point about like we don't want to linger in the city, but I also don't think we're like ready to roll out of here right now. I do think that anytime we're here and people are not disguised, we're kind of in danger at the moment, and I don't think we have a solution to the forward guard problem right this moment. Open to ideas, but I don't think we do.
I still stand on the statement as nobody cares but the forward guard.
I do think that is correct. We had talked about maybe after, like, really quickly trying out Tavin's job, the library, maybe talking to the Crown about getting a pass to go over the mountains, maybe making some friends with the Crown. Maybe it becomes harder to attack us and kill us in the street if we have some sort of relationship with the Crown, and we have helped the city guard. That we can leverage that potentially. But Arrow is keen on this library job, and I like libraries and I like getting paid. And Arrow recently died, so I feel like Arrow should get to pick.
I mean, when you put it like that, I look at Arrow, I'm like, I guess you did recently die.
That's, I mean, that.
It's a lot of weight to put on that Legati.
Well, I mean,
appreciate it.
Sound off if someone else has something else you really want to do right now.
I agree, but maybe don't put that as the detrimental factor as to why we're going.
I was in regardless, but when you put it that way,
it's like a birthday thing, but the opposite.
A death day?
Yeah, if you die, you come back, then you get to pick what we do next. I think we should make that a rule in the group.
I think we should
death day wish.
Maybe not dying a rule in the group.
Yeah.
That's
I
one
like that.
yeah.
I like
I'll remember
that
for the next time it comes up.
I don't know. I think I like the idea of a death day wish.
Well, the other part with Ioun, she's the goddess of knowledge, right? And if I'm remembering correctly, Tavant said we're just going there to fuck with the Potter's Guild and take whatever else we want, so long as we're not too greedy. I think there's some useful information in there. For all of
Should say be careful.
She said don't get greedy.
Well, books are never a bad idea, so what are we waiting for?
Oh yeah.
My God, that's an
do
opposite
it.
from Rolly.
Well, I like to
Yay,
read.
books!
It was just a
Yay,
question if he could
books!
read.
We need
Grant,
more
so,
books.
it's a little like it's like 11:30 in the morning right now, but we could definitely jump ahead tonight, or if you wish to scope it out right now, we can sort of get a description of what you are looking for.
Yeah,
a
let's scope it. Yeah.
I think a great question to ask, regardless if you are standing here and waiting, or if you're going somewhere else to wait, or you are scoping it out. How are we proceeding in terms of looks?
Arrow's got his hood up from his new cloak.
Yeah, I feel like
Same.
everybody got hooded cloaks of some kind, and I'm a cat. I think I am reluctantly not wearing my hat
Mm.
because I think with the hat and the rest of the outfit, like maybe somebody could put two and two together, but I'll just not have the hat on and just be a cat.
I'm
And that's
begrudgingly
my cover
wearing my
story.
hood.
I am gonna wear a cloak, and I'm gonna appear to look like a tiefling warlock.
I wonder what that reference all about. Yeah, you can start making your way northwards towards the religious district, which is actually outside the walls of the Kingdom of Outslaug, or the capital of Outslaug. Yeah, so within the Dracewind Kingdom, the capital of Outslaug, there is it's a large wall city, and outside there is like this a hodgepodge of numerous beautiful cathedrals, churches that are lining this this large street. You passed by this twice when going into the Handle Woods. Just didn't really take your attention or mind because you had other things to focus on. But there are beautiful buildings with stained glass windows all around, beautiful gardens and spaces for worship. There is one for gods of death. There are ones for gods of life and light. There is a smaller cathedral for Umberlee that is that's sort of tucked away out there. Almost any domain you're looking for is located here. And unlike Mosted, there are no multi-churches. There are focused places of worship in here. And not everyone is okay to worship. Now, but the fact that I'm dealing with a crew here with very little interest in the odds, I don't have to do that. I don't have to get too deep into it.
Actually, I have a question, and I actually bring this up to Legati. I'm all like, am I okay?
What part specifically?
Yes. Are we talking about
I just
like?
slashed my chest at him.
Yeah. Are we talking about like? Are you okay in the eyes of the Lord? Are you okay in like in the head, or that could be a plethora of things.
Yeah, there was it could be the Rakdos, is it? It could be that thing, or there's a number of the werewolfism.
The Rakdos thing, hence
Yeah.
the tattoo thing.
Yeah. I mean, what do I know about? We just did a check about Ioun, but this doesn't seem to be a particular god of like be good, upstanding moral behavior, right? It's more about knowledge. Maybe we're cool that way.
I think from what you would understand, you've lived here, Legati, so you would understand that. There isn't a cathedral, church, or any other sort of small space of worship for Rakdos. It doesn't seem like that is a unapproved deity or figure of worship.
Yeah, that's not surprising. But I mean, like,
Are we gonna get in
walking
trouble?
around, are we gonna get
Is
like
someone gonna see me and be like, no?
they got like inquisitors gonna kick us out or something?
Honestly, I'm trying to think of. Roll me a d20 to see if maybe in your life if you've experienced that in the past, because since it wouldn't happen to you directly, I wouldn't say it's an easy answer. But we can roll a d20 and see if maybe you've experienced it or if you witnessed something close to this.
Is this for me or?
Yeah, that'd be for you, Legati, for
Okay.
your knowledge.
That's an 18. If
18.
I'm not having disadvantage.
Yeah, no disadvantage. I think in pursuit of knowledge, and religious study is also considered an interest in knowledge. It's not a focus, but it's also good to know. I think you would have made your way up here into the religious district and probably saw people walking around. Some of them carrying symbols of like the chained oblivion. Figures walking around with other kind of, Asmodeus and other sort of big name, devilkin. More on the evil side of worship. You definitely will get looks. No one's coming up to being a prude and going like, "You can't be in here." But there's a tilt of the nose against those particular worshipers.
Yeah. Okay. Then I relay that general information, and then I would say all of us should probably not have weapons out and ready, and symbols of various demonic deities or otherwise. Potentially keep those covered up, unless you want attention, which,
I mean,
if we're scouting it out, maybe we want to be sneakier this time.
for the sake of the team, I will make sure I am covered.
Yes, and maybe pick up a couple of religious books along the way. You might find.
You might find. You want to finish that statement?
Don't convert her, Moors.
He
Great.
can.
It's weird.
As we're walking, do we pass one of those temples to like a god of death? And if so, which one?
I'll be very simple on what's on my mind right now. Do you see a temple to the matron of ravens?
Not this
He will just
character,
like
but
pause while they walk past and like cast a glance over at it. Then we'll
There's
keep walking.
There's definitely sort of a strange pool, but it's not heavy.
Cast another glance and just keep going.
Continuing forward, you come across this beautiful, it's a large cathedral, commonly known as the Mentor's Cathedral. It is this beautiful white stone building with inline of blue, sort of like this blue marbled fabric that sort of like arches over, makes these beautiful archways. And that's kind of like the main theme here, is like there's arches for everything, for both the windows that are almost like this frosted white glass. There are numerous archways and entrances with like railings that sort of prevent people, like select walkways to go outwards. And you're looking out from the outside, like from the road. You can already tell that it's almost like maze-like, where you can walk in and find yourself kind of like an outdoor patio space. You can actually look beyond one of these arch entrances and exits outwards towards a green grassy field that extends outward for a long distance, like bordered by a hedge, sort of just coats it around. And within this grassy field, there are beautiful large trees that are currently spotting outwards, and people everywhere here. You're seeing mixtures of visitors, clergymen. You're seeing occasional guards here, a couple peacekeepers. Not a lot, but they're still looking around, especially outside. And people are sitting underneath these trees. They're reading books. They're educating themselves. They're praying. They're studying. Considering it is a little afternoon, there is currently a sermon going on right now. You can hear voices echoing through the halls, further deeper into the cathedral.
Shall we go? Might as well see the inside, right?
Okay. Walking through, and it's quiet. Beyond the you can hear the voice of probably like one of the priests here, who's currently hosting the sermon. Other than that, it's just sounds of birds whispering, the sounds of wind in your ears. Occasionally, you can hear it's like almost like this entire place is a library, where the moment you step into the grounds of the Mentor's Cathedral, everyone is learning, everyone's studying, everyone's quiet, everyone's mindful, and The doors are open, a little ajar. Sort of open them up as much as you can, and you can see that there is a long sort of tiled hallway with not hallways, excuse me, a tiled space for worship where there are benches and like alcoves that are like entered by these archway entrances that have numerous candlelight and figures of Ioun, who has been depicted as this older woman, cloak over her head halfway, with tufts of white sort of in the stone, with hands outwards. Just sort of like an entrance, an acceptance for those who wish to study. There are about 50 people here who currently are listening to the sermon. And there's a priest up on a bit of a stage space that is waxing poetically on about the studies and the importance of knowledge and how to pass it along to the next generation. One of the younger clergy folk here, sort of blonde woman, human, looks probably in her early 20s, has a white robe over with a hood as well, symbols of sort of this like blue over white, walks over and goes, hello, welcome to the Mentors Cathedral. Is there anything I can help you with?
I think we're just going to look around, see what we can learn.
That is definitely the pursuit, isn't it? Of course. Feel free to peruse our glass windows with story elements. If you feel like a urge to worship, we have selected worship spaces. We only ask for low-level voices.
Of course.
And he goes off to greet another person. He's currently just directing people.
Forgive me, did you say that there are like bookshelves around here? That's right.
Within the individual worship spaces, there are like religious texts that are there.
Okay. I'll just wander around then. Looking for, because we were told, Tavin told us underneath the Mentors Cathedral. So I'm going to look for any like stairs or doors, anything that might get us down.
Yeah, can you... I was absent that day, but can you recap exactly what Tavant told us? I have that Prey Mother Lysander joined the Potter's Guild, and maybe we could steal stuff. But what is the actual deal, and what information have we been given about this place?
So the Prey Mother, Lysander, has joined the Potter's Guild. She is definitely one of the not the head, but definitely a head here within the Mentors Cathedral. There, in response to that, Tavin overheard that the Prey Mother is currently asking the Crown if they are allowed to raid the library that's underneath the cathedral. There are some important artifacts or things of worship, objects of power that is important to the kingdom as a whole. And moving those important aspects do require some bureaucracy. And so Tavin was like, well, if they're planning to get some objects of power, let's beat them to it. We don't need to ask permission. If you guys are skilled enough to sneak in and take what you want and leave, that screws them over and it makes us better. The only warning she gave you was, hey, you want to peruse, you want to steal, you want to pillage, I want you to do that. Just don't get too greedy because you don't want the knowing mother on your side or against you.
Got it.
But Arrow, you're searching around for some sort of stairwell or staircase. Go ahead and roll me a perception check because it's a fairly large space.
7.
in this moment, the sermon has ended, and people have gotten up, currently giving worship, and it is kind of skirting around people. And you're just not able to get a full view in this moment. You can have more tries depending on what other people do. But what is everyone else doing?
Is
She
there
said
like
there's
a?
go ahead.
Oh wait.
She said that there were stories on the stained glass. What is the story? Like, what can we actually see?
Oh yeah. So on the very left and right walls of the sort of long stretch part of the cathedral, there are numerous arched windows that have these stained glass depictions. It depicts dragons mid-flight. It depicts gods reaching downwards, blessing those below. It depicts humans reading, or humanoids, I should say, reading and studying the creation of certain magics, the implementation of like altered magical effects and implementation of enchantments. You're essentially watching kind of like the evolution of magic and how it's been understood.
Okay. Go ahead, Amber.
Forgot for a second, but okay, sorry. I was just gonna ask, you know how like, unfortunately I know this, like behind like wherever they preach the sermon, there's like an entrance or like a back way, like another room. Is there anything that looks like that?
Oh, behind the stage?
Mm-hmm.
Or there definitely is like a back entrance that is probably for staff only. Probably where like almost like a break area that might even go further or deeper. You don't know. I've been behind there once. I know what it looks like.
I think we both have.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see that the sermon has ended, and the priest who is currently waxing poetically and invited the flock here to enjoy the rest of their evening, has closed the book, left it on the platform, and is currently walking back into that back area. But you are on this long strip that does split outwards in left and right.
I think I'll probably go up a little bit, not like close enough to like get back there, but like go up towards it, like whatever the podium or whatever was, and then like break off to the left just to kind of peruse the little sections.
Okay. So I know, Diva, you're looking at the stained glass right now. Morse, what are you doing?
I mean, surely, there's bound to be some talks of heroes in this cathedral here somewhere. Surely. I will be looking around for books, texts, stories, anything that can find that mentions a hero.
I was thinking with a place labeled a library, and I knew that there was going to be some curiosity when it comes to specific pieces of knowledge, because it is a library, probably an archive that holds a lot of information. You are currently still where there is a lot of religious texts. I do have a system when it comes to finding something broad or specific. So with that question for heroes, roll me an investigation check. You muted.
Steve.
Sorry, that will be a 14.
14. I'll say yes. You're able to find some details on that particular subject, but there is like these little alcove spaces where people are currently kneeling or sitting and reading, where there are some religious textbooks where people can like study themselves. You have to interrupt someone who currently is mid-study. You have to go, "Excuse me, grab a book, see something that like." Religious heroes, and start to flip over. And there's like a look to you, but kind of. This is not a place for arguments, so they don't really get in your face.
I'm also looking around for any books on like the various deities and who aligns better with my sense of justice.
Looking in the God catalog for
Yes.
Yeah,
that'll be
The list, yeah.
It'll be aisle 7. It's gonna be midway to the right on the bottom shelf.
like the paladin who's shopping around.
Yep. This is a
With-
bargain sale. Okay.
I'll say with the outward pile of texts that they have here for public use, a lot of it is Ioun centric. A lot of it is, to build up their own worship and flock. So you're not getting like a religious, index that has all of the things of worship. Within a place like this, you probably assume that it is here. There probably is some place that has details on other gods because that's knowledge to have. But not outwardly, if you're entering an Ioun's temple, they're probably going to push Ioun on the front end. And with a 14, I think you're not able to find that.
Yeah, they need to make money. I get it. All right. Well, let's look into this Ioun. Let's see what makes him so special. What makes him tick? Her tick. It tick? I don't know.
That's probably on page 1. You'll be able to figure that out.
Oh no.
This is going to be a very easy read.
Ioun, known morely for a feminine presenting goddess,
There you go.
is known as a goddess, and which is why you understand it's a feminine presenting goddess of knowledge, prophecy, and skill. Very much of a person against secrets. Knowledge should be shared, should be collected and shared. It is a goddess that very much smiles happily upon bards and those of arcane in persuasion, mainly because bards tell stories, and she is the goddess of stories. Or no, she's not goddess of stories, but she is a storyteller. But yeah, generally depicted as a dark-skinned, white-haired woman, older in age, with sort of a almost like a calming teacher's smile. You're muted.
Like
Muted.
how old are we talking?
How old are we talking?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at some images. It doesn't say specific like what it would be assumed, but I would say elderly, probably 70s.
So not
this
like
time.
not
So
like
we
a
went
hot-
with, is she hot?
I was gonna say not a hot storm, but I guess.
I mean, it's not
Still
no,
a
probably,
crone.
yeah. I mean, it depends on if I'm not gonna yuck your yum. It depends on how you.
No, my yum's been yucked.
Oh man. I have a question. I have a lot of questions.
Hey,
for
man,
Morgan.
that's your
so
preference,
glad
bro.
I'm not in your head.
Okay.
Fucking glad.
Wars is playing a god dating sim.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
we don't know. We don't
Yeah.
know.
She
You
got-
guys are all
Alright.
NPCs in my story, okay?
I just need to know all of my options so I can pick the hottest one. That most.
And then I
aligns
prayed to
with
that
mine.
one.
I've heard Rakdos is pretty. I don't know.
What do you mean, eh?
That's too wild for me.
Pain for pleasure, baby.
Exhibit A. Okay, so knowing that, I think this goddess is it for me.
She
I'm
ugly.
looking- No. I am
She's
not
too
that-
smart for him.
I'm
Yeah.
not that
Yeah.
superficial. No. While there could be some. Actually, you know what? There could
She
be
too old.
some value in looking into the knowledge aspect. I would want to take a moment to see like how exactly the worshippers, like how do they revere the goddess with the concept of knowledge? Like, do they just learn a lot? Could this lead them into learning, especially arcane stuff, right? Could this maybe push them down the wrong path?
That's
a dark,
very
forbidden path?
That's actually a great question. I think that's something as you're currently perusing. Let me give you some information about what you rolled for first, and then I can sort of share some details about that and how worship occurs here. So first and foremost, you do pick up a book about heroes, more specifically religious heroes. Clerics and bastions of good who fought against devils and demonkind alike. There is a heavy focus on fighting against those who keep secrets. So like old tales and stories about a group of clerics and paladins of fighting against like liches who keep dark secrets and dark magic away. Not a lot of specifics. It's very much like if you were to look at Norse mythology, some of it is like missing, some of the information is not fully there. So you're not getting a full scope, but you do realize like this is something they pride on is to build up these heroes and the stories that you learn from, like the meanings you learn from the stories is hoarding magic and hoarding secrets is not good.
Okay. All right.
And to your other question, how does the worshippers of Ioun worship? In the entrance, there were these standees that have detailed, like, I would say, like scheduling. Like on this day at this time, we're having a presentation, or at this time. So it seems like a lot of the worshippers what they do here is that they learn as much as they can about a subject, and then they present it for people so that they can learn about it as well and see if they're interested. It is a complete process of sharing and learning.
Question: are there any more like practitioners or priest or priestess that would be an obvious one of the temple that we can see, other than the one that left?
Yeah, there definitely would be. Let me touch upon one quick thing real quick. Phoenix, you dipped a little bit closer to the stage area.
Mm-hmm. I'm being nosy.
You're being nosy. You're edging up to the left. You've walked across this entire stretched space. It's almost like a cross design in terms of the actual building layout. You've walked forward, hit that four-way intersection where you continue forward. If you continue forward, I should say, there is the stage. If you look to the right, you can see that both left and right, there is a stairwell that leads downward in both directions.
Whoever's paying attention from our group, I kind of just like gesture like.
I'll go to Phoenix.
Yep, going to Phoenix.
But to your question as well, Divas, as you're walking forward, yeah, there's a couple of clergymen, people talking amongst themselves. They've pulled themselves away to talk in hushed tones, not bother anyone who's worshiping, but there are people you can grab if need be.
Had an idea, saw Phoenix phone on hand motion, going to Phoenix.
Got it.
It went nah.
I'll come back to that. Go.
Yeah, you just see that the floor goes down in a stairwell that sort of like curves outwards. It's a large stairwell space that goes down.
Well, her feet is mapping buildings and places, so that's why she was like, I'm going to look like I'm reading something, but I'm going to go over here to see.
Yeah, does it look open to the public?
As far as you can tell.
Okay. All right then.
Let's go down there.
Let's
Then.
go.
Next to me? You want?
I'm like, there's no sign says we can, and even if there is, let's go.
It goes down, yeah. And both actual left and right do almost circle their way down. Almost like I'm trying to think of the word. Like
Like the
there's
circle, like
symmetrical.
This. Yeah.
Yeah. Go downwards and meet at the sort of second base or this basement floor. It's not big. There still are the archway windows that even stretch down here. So you are looking at sort of like, at first you were just seeing light from the midday sun, and then as you start to go down, you can see like bit of glow of rock, of like bioluminescent pieces of sentiment that are shining through glass through here, and it's a beautiful sight. It's just a little dark reading alcove in here. There are a lot more clergy folk down here who are currently speaking to one another. It's like they go down here to not avoid, but not get directly involved with the public too much. And southwards, there is a red roped pathway that leads further down. There are two heavy guards currently guarding the entrance past that.
Mm-mm.
Is this also kind of just like an open area?
There are some pillars here and there. There's some spaces to sit down and maybe break eyesight. But
Okay.
the walk from that point within this lower space and to where the roped off area is completely open.
How far? Like, we came down the stairs. Like, how far from that point are the guards?
Oh, about 60 feet
Okay.
where the guards are standing.
Well, like, I don't want to go talk to them.
Yeah, I mean, if we ask questions, then I think we make ourselves more obvious suspects when this place is robbed tonight.
Well, I was thinking to ask a question to the clergyman, which I think that will work with them. The guards, not sure.
Mhm.
There's no signage or anything, right? Like, next to the guards, it says, like, something, or, like, you need special access, or just nothing.
Reserved for birthday
Yeah.
parties only.
Employees only. Like, what?
There is an archway above, sort of like this little entrance that has been blocked off with the rope. It does read the mistress's library.
You know, just put it all out there.
But there is no documentation or signage that reads, available to public. And with guards here, there definitely is a deterrent.
If you need, like, a pass.
Would you like me to ask?
Better you than me.
This place is supposed to be about sharing knowledge, right? Weird that their library is sectioned off.
Right.
Well,
Sharing knowledge and lack of secrets. Guard.
maybe you need, like, an escort or something to go down there. Because, I mean, if they don't want people stealing things, that is an actual problem. So maybe you have to go down there with somebody.
Or you have to
Well,
stay together.
I'm gonna go ask the guard.
Or
Ask the guard.
maybe they could be like a religious institution that's very secretive, like, certain real world institutions that you have to have certain levels, right? You have to be worshiping and donating for a certain amount of years to go up in levels, and maybe you just need the proper
Now I
level
get
to
it.
go down there.
Is it bad? I can't tell if it's Catholic Church or Scientology. Anyways, I think I'm pretty sure I said both. Anyways, I am going to go ask the guard bluntly. Excuse me.
Yeah. Guard kind of not tenses up, but definitely like has been laxed a little bit, standing in this one space for so long, and as someone starts to approach, definitely standing a little bit more tall. There is it's not even, you can't even see the face. They're fully armored with a little bit of like white robes and sort of blue inline. They have a full like helmet on that blocks the majority of their face. You can just sort of see the lower jaw. You're seeing like almost like light blue skin where the jaw is, definitely masculine, as sort of looks down. Hello, ma'am. How can I help you?
May I ask what's in there?
It's the mistress's library.
Are we allowed to enter?
The cathedral holds special occasions to allow the public to go down into Ioun's library, but you are required to have a guide during those specific instances.
How can I obtain a guide?
You could probably talk to one of the clergymen. They can tell you when we're going to have another opening.
You don't know.
I do not know.
Interesting. Do you think is that normal that this temple holds knowledge from people?
It is a deterrent, as we do have sensitive information, as well as important artifacts to the knowing mistress.
But that still is somewhat against dogma, isn't it? I'm just curious. I'm
Oh.
new to this area.
Oh, of course. No. We do allow public to enter, but it is with supervision.
Even if I had you go in there with me, with big bad eyes.
Roll me a persuasion check.
You're wasting your time.
I know.
He
It's
doesn't
just
have
funny.
Bro can't even see you all the way through the helmet.
That's a 17.
17.
Sees a corner.
You see he lifts up the sort of the hinge on the helmet, just sort of get a better look as you're kind of putting a little bit more of a charismatic effort into it. Elven features, blue skin, like a trident, more fish-like. Looks down. There's a bit of a purplish hue to the cheeks, as somewhat of a blush, and goes, I wish I could. I'm not authorized.
It was worth the ask. Thank you. Walk away.
Of course. And I think what you hear as you get a few steps away, the other guard go, just sort of, you could just hear the bit of the whisper go, "You blew it."
Yeah. Oh, God.
Guy. I'm all like, so I go back to the party and tells them, okay, so they do occasionally open to the public. You do need an escort, and they only do it for special events. So unless we can somehow persuade somebody to let us down there, we're going to have to either take out the guards or invisibility. I look at Legati.
Oh, are we sure is this place open 24 hours? If we were to come back at night, would there be guards?
I think the role we made prior when you were asking about how busy this place gets, as well as how much it would be guarded, I think you would acknowledge that around after 5 p.m., this place becomes less populated, meaning that they need less staff. There is probably still a guard element, because there always has to be, especially with sensitive information that they're holding, to avoid vandals and thieves. But you would assume that there'd be less clergymen guarding the space and walking around.
Yeah, invisibility definitely an option. We gonna learn anything more here right now, or should we find a place to chill out until this place is less popular?
Kind of curious about the garden, although that was great, by the way, Diva. Read body language, that was fucking hilarious. Even from here. Glad it wasn't me.
I try. I don't know. Is there like an interesting god that's about parties and festivals that we could just listen to while we wait?
I don't think the Moonweaver's about parties. I can't remember.
It's like, there's a, I don't know, Dionysus lecture going on.
Zero?
No.
In my world, there's all sorts of pantheons. There might be a Dionysus, cathedral somewhere. Just not in Outlook.
Dang it! What prudes!
I only want to said the garden because sometimes there's more than one way to get into a place, but that's just my thought.
That is a very valid point. I like flowers. Let's go to the garden.
Okay, you guys are going towards the mall. Walking back upstairs, out the front, towards the actual green space. It is a large, expansive, almost semi-hilly. You could see like there's some unevenness when it comes to the actual terrain. And on some of the peaks of these hills, there are these large trees that cause a lot of shade, especially those who are wanting to read in the sunlight and not get burned, just sort of want to enjoy the outdoors. It's very peaceful. You hear birds singing, and in the evening's time now, kind of maybe around 3 p.m., a little after, you're getting a bit of a chill front from a blow of wind, but you can see this beautiful garden space.
No entrances otherwise.
I mean, you haven't done a roll.
I
So,
will roll.
yeah, you can roll. Roll me. I'll give you a choice. You can either roll me a perception check in which the DC will be high, or an investigation check in which the DC will be a bit lower.
I don't think I'm that smart, but we'll see.
I'm like, can I help with the investigation check?
Sure.
I'm like, my perception's a lot better. I guess we'll do investigation if I get advantage. Better odds.
Let's see, help action.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, I get another +1 because of rock. Hold on. Oh shit, that one flew. 16.
16. I gotta make a decision. I don't think a 16 is high enough to find a secret entrance. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Well-
Looking for a secret entrance? I want to try.
Yeah, Legati, if you want to give it a shot, I'll
Come on,
raise the
Mr.
DC up by 2.
I'm kind of
Oh,
getting the vibe that there might be a secret entrance around here.
Can I help? I don't know.
You already tried. Diva and Phoenix
Have Arrow
have
help.
tried. Arrow,
Oh.
all right, you're getting
Arrow,
help
help
action.
him, please.
So yeah, I'm leaning into stuff. My archaeologist historical knowledge, where I can identify the original purpose and builders of a ruin or dungeon, which this isn't. But like, I'm trying to get a vibe of like, was this constructed a long time ago with the rest of the city? Like, is the underground area, did that exist first and they built this on top of it? Like, that's the kind of vibe I'm leaning into. And I would definitely take help to counteract my disadvantage that I would otherwise have for being sleepy.
Yes, I think that is fair. What is a temple and a building but just an early ruin later?
Yeah, it's going to be a ruin soon enough. All right, Arrow is helping me out. I think I'm discussing this. I'm bouncing ideas off of Arrow then.
He doesn't respond much, but he finds it interesting.
I rolled a natural 20 and my investigation is +7.
Let's go, Wizard Man!
Well,
Thank you for the help.
so the DC was 20, and then because this is the second attempt, I was raising it by 2, so it was gonna be a 22.
All right.
27. You see in the middle of this, this grassy mall, there is sort of a stone walkway that cuts through it, that leads up to this beautiful fountain of what can only be described as like an open hand holding a book that's half cracked open with water coming out, almost like if magic was erupting from it. And I think what goes through your mind, Legati, as Arrow starts to like bring your attention around, sort of keeping you on task, something clicks as you start to look at it. The seams that this stone structure is built from, because it's like a fairly large fountain. Like it's, I want to say, maybe about 12 feet tall, and then it drops down and trickles down against the actual edging of the stone into a basin that holds it. The seams are not completely flush, and you recognize this. You've seen other civilizations and other ruins, and you've studied this too. That when it comes to underground areas, it's always good to have multiple exits in case one of them is blocked off, because then you're just dead.
Fire code, right? Yeah.
Secret entrance, fire code.
I think Legati's cattail's starting to do that thing, like when they see a fly or whatever. He's like staring at the seams. They got, to whoever's listening, I think he says, I believe I know how we might be able to get in.
Oh?
Well, that's
I'm
better
gonna
than
kinda, follow
guards.
sidelong to the seams, and just with my own background, kind of. Okay, but how do we open it?
There's like a word or a magic dealy you gotta do.
Or maybe it's
Oh,
a door somewhere.
Must be a way. Right now, like, people would see us if we were messing with it, right?
I mean, I could push somebody into the fountain, then we pretend like we're getting them out.
So the fountain, there is obviously a large fountain. If you
Yeah.
go behind it, you probably are obscuring yourself from some people's view, but it is in the middle of this grassy field.
Mhm.
And there are people currently spotted around underneath trees studying. Occasionally they'll look up, sort of rub their eyes, take a breath, relax, and
Yeah.
take a break from reading and then go back. So it's hard to find a spot that you're not viewable.
Yeah. Tonight would be safer. I think, I mean, anybody who's here, I quietly relay the information that I've realized, and I suggest that we maybe attempt it at night when there's fewer people here. Be right back.
That works for me.
I agree. Definitely something to come look for, since I doubt this way will be guarded as much as the direct path beneath the temple.
So I assume you guys are waiting till night, unless there's anything you'd like to prep before then. Okay. Are you waiting till night on the grounds, or are you going somewhere else?
I mean,
I think somewhere else.
I would say
Yeah.
what's nearby that we can probably wait, but still be close enough to walk back in.
Yeah, I think it's not just religious buildings. It's not just, there has to be some breakage of like maybe a space to sit down, like a public park, or there would be like maybe a small eatery where probably a lot of the clergy folk probably step in to eat. Those of worship probably step in here as well. Just getting lost in the masses.
Food?
I don't see why not. Bishop got to run a freaking run underground for a while.
Yeah, while we're sitting and resting and waiting, I'm gonna see if I can finish that wood carving I made, or had been working on.
I think you can finish it. You spent all night and now you're just completing the last bit of details. Do you want to describe it, or do you want to wait until the right moment to describe what you give? Or what you have?
I'll describe it, since like he's not hiding it or anything. You guys can see him carving it. It's a replica of a ship. It's essentially a miniature of a sort of like torn and tattered boat. Like making extra care of. Like once he has it like clean, he starts cutting chips into what would be the sails and like scratches along the sides of it. And then once I'm done with it, I just kind of don't know what to do with it. So I'll look over to Phoenix and hand it to her.
That's pretty.
Aw.
Thanks.
Is this for me, or are you just showing it to me?
That's for you. You gave me
Oh.
one. It's only fair.
You didn't have to make me one. I gave that to you for a reason. Thank you. May I ask what it's of? I mean, I know it's a ship, but I mean, is it something you know? Or something specific?
Something like that. A ghost ship. If you believe in those.
Hard not to.
Yeah, we've seen a few ghosts, right? Not far of a stretch anymore.
Well, hopefully you won't be seeing any for a while, if I can help it.
We'll see about that.
Are you okay? And actually answer, don't say you're okay and then you're not okay.
I feel fine.
She does give you that face of like, we've talked about this.
There's a lot on my mind.
You don't have to carry the perpetual weight. You know that, right?
Pot meets kettle.
I gestured
Diva?
to Diva.
You can ask me about the perpetual weight I carry if you want. But I'm asking you about yours right now.
Simplest way to put it, I died yesterday.
That's not what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about?
And she like does the same thing she did to you before about like straightening your shoulder posture a little bit. Whatever that is.
Things happen at sea. You see things you're not supposed to. Accidents happen.
Well, I hope you don't blame yourself for whatever it is. And if you do, talk about it when you're ready to talk about it.
Thank you.
And I also have something to give, but it's not to Arrow, it's to Legati.
I didn't know we were supposed to have presents.
This
No,
is
we
what
were
you
talking
get.
about it's
This was
it's a
you get
death
4
day.
whittlers.
Yeah.
Is this what happened with the death gifts? Is this what this is?
yeah,
I
death
can
gift.
turn the wood into silver for an hour.
If
I
you
want.
want.
I just look at Legati like, really?
There's a reason why I asked you what, like, if there's a symbol for this law. She hands you, like this wooden locket that's on one of the cords she got from Tavant. And it looks like a little cocoon, but if you open it, it splits open in the middle. It turns into a butterfly in the center. And she hands that to you, Legati, and says, "This is the least I could do. I'm sorry if I scared you the other day. But you said this is all about change for you. So this is kind of the best I could do in that form."
I think he takes it with a big smile and says, "This is marvelous. Thank you. You really didn't need to, but highly appreciated." And I've been working on. Yeah, go ahead.
You died. I shook you and said, "Bring him back," and you died. And then I watched Arrow. It was a miss. So I'm sorry. But you
wasn't
did what
the
I
first
asked.
time. It won't be the last.
I hope it's the last.
What do you mean by that, Legati?
What do you mean by that?
Story of life. But I've been working on Legati's staff for a while. His quarter staff that he never uses because he's weak and sucks at it. But I think he just progressively has been just like attaching stuff to it. You previously gave him the like bit of rabbit's foot when we were in the woods. He's just tied that with like a leather strap onto the quarterstaff, and it's slowly been like decaying. I think he like sticks it into bushes and picks up bits of plants and bugs and whatever. And yeah, so the quarterstaff top has all sorts of crap on it that's like slowly turning into different stuff. And I think he attaches the locket to that with the chain. Looks like it was meant to be there.
It's going to be well decorated, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that for this this eatery, this space where you guys are currently hanging out, it's less of like individual tables, but it's like long benches. To
Like a
try
cafeteria?
like a cafeteria, and able to support any number of people who are both part of the clergy or part of the worshippers. More sitting on I'll say sitting on the end. You get a tap on the shoulder, and then a voice rings out. "Hey, friend, do you mind if I sit here next to you?"
Can I? Do I get a vibe from this guy? Anything remarkable or particular about him that I should be aware of?
You turn over your shoulder to see who tapped you. It is a armored gentleman, black metal, with sort of seams of gold through the edges, and sort of as he starts to like motion his hand back, you can see through the leather between the armor, much like yourself, the under padding. It is just like threads of gold, mesh of gold through the black, and where the neck is, kind of like draping down into the chest, it is just feathers, black feathers.
Interesting. Clearly not a guard, right?
Just not carrying a weapon, as far as you can tell.
I tell him, sure, be my guest.
Appreciate that. Sits down right next to you, and from everyone else's perspective, they see a large, Morris next to an equally large human, kind of sitting shoulder to shoulder, almost same armament a little bit.
You said black metal armor with like black feathers coming out?
Black feathers.
Okay.
There is
Is there
a
any-
silver. There is a silver inline of a raven on their shoulder.
I'll pipe up. Do you worship the Raven Mother?
I worship the Raven Queen. Yes.
Are you here for her temple?
Yes. The Feathered Church, down the street. Oh, Orro. Pleasure.
Arrow.
I will-
Pleasure.
I will
that's
say
funny.
my-
What was the name of the church one more time? Sorry, I was laughing.
The Feathered Church. Just that's funny.
Your armor's pretty.
Thank you.
It's probably not the right word for it, but it is pretty.
No, there's beauty in it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
This may be an odd question, but is she kind?
The Raven Queen?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I suppose that's a perspective. She is stern, loyal. Is a bit of I guess a lawful force. More hard on those who wish to disturb the natural process of life.
Disturb in what ways?
Well, in our teachings, we believe that death can be prevented for a period. Healing, resurrection, that is fine. It just means you are prolonging the death. But outwardly spitting on the process through the use of necromantic undeath process is against our order's feelings.
Like a lich.
Like a lich.
Ding,
There
ding,
are-
ding, 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 ding,
There
ding,
are
ding,
many
ding, ding,
others,
ding.
but
She's just pulling from her own.
we do not worship death itself, but we worship the process.
Please, tell me more.
Motions over to you, like looks you over.
He's researching.
I'm probably not the best to recruit. Not as scholarly as some of my other clergymen, but it's simple fact. We are the Raven Queen is the god of the grave, the process, the cycle. You know, body dies, decays, brings new life. There is gray areas to pull back and to heal, to resurrect, but avoiding the grave is against our dogma.
Now, I know you might not have the knowledge of your fellow clergymen, but what if you were to encounter someone defiantly going against your dogma? What if you ran into a necromancer reanimating the corpses of innocent people for his own selfish gains? What does your Raven Queen do?
Tasks those worthy and brings down holy flame.
Okay, I know this is going to be like really TMI, but Moore's just got a huge mental boner.
I was like, I think we've got a winner.
Ding 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 ding
Dating
ding
him,
ding.
I told you.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why I denied you.
I mean, Amber loves the Raven Queen, but that's just because I have a cleric to the Raven Queen.
So I'm gonna ask him. So where do you
So where are you guys at?
You're often. Do you guys have any pamphlets or brochures or like any sort of flyers or anything? Like where can I find out more info about you guys?
The Feathered Church up the street, if you wish. I don't have any literature to provide, though. Sorry.
reading body language. She's just Phoenix is just mouthing to Arrow chemistry through the roof with that one. I don't know.
He like turns his face for it.
I'm gonna ask the guy like, are you heading there anytime soon? Probably within the next hour or so.
You're asking Oro?
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm done for the day. But there probably is more folk there who can help you.
Maybe if you could point the way, I would greatly appreciate that.
I know the way. We passed it.
Do you know the way?
Don't
Start,
Don't.
Steve.
Don't, please don't.
listen here, you.
I already
You were
knew where
quick
that
on
was
that, though. I'm
going.
gonna give you that.
All three of us. All three of us already
Wow.
fucking knew. We went, no,
You didn't miss.
down.
Talk about pulling your 2020 meme, Steve.
Woo, let's go.
I was like, I already know where that one's going. We're gonna nip that in the butt right now.
Yeah, the guy's just eating. In between conversations.
Why do I want to burst Moore's bubbles so much? But I don't think I can. I'm like, you do realize that's a big contradicting, right?
Are you actually telling me this in character, or are you telling me this as a...
Steve was telling this to Moore's. I'm like, you do know that's a big contradiction, right?
Oh, please elaborate.
You are for death. You're pro resurrection. You're pro healing. But necromancy is where you draw your line. Some delay is okay, but not all delay.
I think it's more
See,
about
I
use.
wouldn't expect you to understand that there are souls that have a higher purpose and
More
require them to be. Yeah, I am
Putting
more
my
explaining.
my head
More
in Arrow's
splaining.
shoulder of like, that's not what we... No.
I am more explaining.
You are not above anybody. No one is above anybody. We
I
all
think
have our lives to live to our fullest. If you
She
choose to
means-
extend it,
Use,
yeah, and that's
guys,
exactly
use.
what I'm about. No one's extending life. At least not me, anyway. But there are those who will. There are those who will pull people from this sacred eternal rest and deprive them of that liberty.
is it
Deprive
bad I
their
see
souls
that
of
as that's their prerogative?
Yes.
What do you think about somebody that extended their life but never died? But they lived far past what they were supposed to.
And how did they do so?
Alchemical means he was pretty smart.
And by alchemical, could you define more clearly?
He used his lovely mind to manufacture chemicals and a machine to keep his body going for 300 years. He didn't hurt anybody.
I see no problem with it if the gods don't.
I'm sure there was a few,
Well,
but he meant
you
well.
said chemicals. Are you talking about chemicals that, in some way or another, are derived from the essence of human beings?
This is Amber to the DM. I don't believe that's how Miles worked.
Miles
He
would.
just extended his life through like science. That's the big
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's more through knowledge more than like extracting things from other beings or people.
Right. And were there any gods that had a problem with that?
Oh, I'm sure he wasn't on like the top 10 of the Raven Queen's favorite people of living past what he should.
Was he at all contributing anything to society to the betterment of humankind, demonkind,
He helped kill
catkind, or
Evergreen.
whatever whatever Legati is,
What
right?
were you? Cat kind? No, but he helped kill Evergrey in the end, so he did contribute something.
See, a higher purpose.
That's irrelevant.
How so?
Death doesn't care about your purpose. It doesn't care about your resolve, your faith.
See, Arrow gets it.
Precisely. Death cares about the process of life and death. That's true.
So why is some extensions of life okay, but not all? Like, I have issues with necromancy for one very, very obvious reasons, but the extension of life isn't it. It's a lack of choice. If you're brought back with necromancy, you don't have a choice. That I'm not okay with. But the idea to extend life,
Well, again, there's a higher purpose. You may not know what that purpose is. And the fact that this particular individual you speak of was able to use scientific methods that did not revolve around forcing unwilling participants into his, process for his own needs, I don't see a problem with that. At the end of the day, he served a purpose, and that was to defeat the great Queen Evergrey, who came back, who defied the natural laws of man and God to do what she did. Not to mention was responsible for the suffering of so many more people after death. And
The Great?
I don't think he called her the Great.
Oh, she did.
A wild twist in his character.
Kidding.
Look. At the end of the day, she was a queen, whether she was a good queen or a bad queen. I wasn't alive to know about it. But I'm just saying. She found a way to basically trespass those borders and live far beyond what she was supposed to. And what did she do with that? Continue to cause harm and suffering for what? What was her purpose in all this?
I think we have a fundamental misunderstanding on what higher purpose means. It doesn't necessarily
fine.
have to be good. Some people's callings are corrupt.
Well, it is still a road I travel on. I will look at all options and I will decide what is best for me.
that you will.
Ironically enough, this heavy level set of conversation is not solely for you guys. With a cafeteria full of religious people of different
Everybody just turning
sectors,
around. People
there is intense conversations everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Of political, of full on. There's a whole TED talk happening over here. There's a whole argument and disagreement happening over here. You found the perfect place to have this type of discussion.
Woo!
It is not. No one is looking at you guys. This is like common in this space.
It's just in the air.
It's just yeah. It's God. It feels like it's disagreements.
I get you, Moors. I think it's just up into interpretation. To Diva's point, there is a lack of choice. To Arrow's point, purpose is determined by the person. I could say I have a great purpose and you think that it's horrible. But all that it's up to you, man. I mean, I just say exercise discretion and don't assume that everything is black and white. Because a lot of us fall in the middle. We're all kind of weird in some way. And a lot of people look at us like we're bad, i.e. the fucking forward guard. But that's besides the point.
I'm gonna kind of come in closer, just a little bit closer, and because I want to say this in a very quiet tone where we can't be heard. Given the fact that we're scoping this place out to break in and steal something, you don't have to harp to me about discretion. I'm very much well aware that things are gray. This is just another avenue for me to look at, and one that I will. I'll see if it's right for me, but I do appreciate everyone's sentiment.
If you'd like, later, after we're through with this, we can go check out the temple, the Feather Church, together.
Thank you. I'd appreciate that.
I actually like her.
The Raven thing?
Yeah. I mean, the two people I cared about the most died in a nice way, actually. Well, up for interpretation on the first one, but
You
I don't
for
know.
a damn fact Miles was cursing the
yeah, I
gods
know,
the
I
entire
know, I know. That was his way to go, though. I think life is just a cycle. That doesn't mean it has to be one way or the other. It doesn't mean you can't come back. But I don't know. I like the exploration of it a little bit. I think she's just about balance, and I'm fine with.
Each of you sitting in here, eating, relaxing, just waiting, letting the time pass forward, hear a cacophony of bells. In almost a chaotic harmony from numerous sources. As you look outside out of one of the windows, and people are leaving the numerous churches, temples, cathedrals, ending their night. Or ending their day, I should say. And Legati, with the feat of always knowing what time it is, it's a little after 5. The sun hasn't fully set yet. It's sort of like waning over the walls of the actual, kingdom, of the capital, I should say. But it is starting to get nighttime.
All right. Maybe we continue our philosophical discussions next to the fountain.
Yep. I hear waters and lightning.
And purifying.
I thought it's just water.
Refreshing.
Sarcasm wars.
Oh. Oh, sorry.
You guys continue forward. You continue forward, and I'm trying to think here. You're kind of getting lost in the crowd. People are heading back into the actual walls of the capital. Some people are staying behind, especially keeping an eye out on the Mentor's Cathedral, sort of that white stone archway spaces. Some of the lanterns are starting to get flicked on by arcane means. Kind of standing by the street and looking outwards in through the archway going out towards the mall. It's definitely not many people in there anymore. The only folks you could probably see currently are these armored, like maybe about 2 armored guards who are currently just patrolling with both of them, not weapons, but staffs in hand with a small light, just sort of giving an illumination.
Like a lot of illumination, or only slightly?
Not like maybe 30 feet around them.
Okay. Like bright ass thing, or not so much?
Yes, they're not like searchlights. It's not like,
Okay.
It's just 30 feet around, walking around.
Hood is definitely up. Could it be any more glowy?
So if we were to go hang out by the fountain, how close is anybody else to us?
To be unnoticed towards the fountain, I would ask for a stealth check. But there isn't anyone outside here reading right now.
Yeah.
But there'd be like 2 guards currently walking and patrolling the mall.
I mean, I'm down as stealth. If you need me to.
I have 2 avenues of obscuring an area, a 15-foot radius, if you will.
I was gonna say fog cloud.
Or darkness.
Oh yeah, or darkness. But I think only you can see in it.
More or less.
I mean, a fog cloud might be convincing.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, make it look like it's actually foggy out here.
Mhm.
I mean, I need to be able to see for stuff I might need to do.
Yeah.
Do you know how much stuff you could do? Because we time it right.
I mean, maybe I'll Sean and it's going to open up, but I'm
Alternatively,
doubting that.
if we need a distraction, I can cause lights to appear from a distance, catch their attention.
A distraction's definitely a possibility. But for now, I mean, there's nothing. We're allowed to just walk around and pretend to be continuing to have our debate about life and death, right?
This is true. Anyone
nobody's
know about
telling
a
us
god or
why
goddess
we-
of the night?
yeah. You can make
Same.
one up. Yeah.
Like, I
need
do,
to
but I
go
don't know if Phoenix does.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because what I want to do first is just like walk by the fountain, and I want to like probe around it with the invisible mage hand. So I just need to be within like 30 or 60 feet or whatever it is. And I want to like poke at the seams, see if there's a lever, if there's a button. Like I don't want to actually open it, but I want to be looking for
Sure.
if there's any obvious way how it might open now that I know the door is there.
So, I will say that if you guys go out into the grass area here towards the fountain, not being stealthy, some of the guards are definitely going to clock you. They're going to recognize that you're here, but they're not going to address you yet. You get a sense that there is a closing aspect. You guys are arriving at a store 10 minutes before closing. You know, they're not obligated to kick you out, but eventually when it gets too late, they're going to be like, all right, we got to get you off the ground so we can, you know, just keep everything
Yeah, that's
secure
fine.
here. But you could definitely beeline it towards the fountain. It's still, you know, water out of the book, hand and you know, within the hand. Roll investigation check.
Okay. Somebody want to help me out? Could somebody scoping out? All right.
I will be helping by specifically like looking at the craftsmanship of the fountain. See if I can find how any mechanics work.
Yeah, that is great. All right, investigation not with disadvantage then. Okay, that's fair. This time I rolled a natural 1.
Oh!
My investigation of 7, that is an 8.
You're walking around, and I think one of the parts of the fountain kind of like the water stops.
Yeah.
And you're like, did I kick something? What happened? And I guess like a little pebble or dirt claw got stuck, and then it blocked it for a moment, and it explodes out, coats both Arrow and the now Tabaxi Legati
boy.
in like this dirt, wet water, fountain water. And just like,
Lovely.
Now I dislike this fountain.
What was it you were trying to do?
I was just looking for how this door might be opened.
Sir, you doing all right over there? One of the guards sort of saw that happen.
The fountain seems to malfunction, but yes, I'm fine.
Starts to walk towards your group.
I'll keep my hood down, but also just kind of add on. We're just admiring it. The spout seemed to be jammed and is no longer.
Walks
Bringing out
forward.
my hat.
Yeah, it sort of nods and goes, we've had some complaints in the past with the piping. I apologize. Motions a hand towards you, Legati. It's a hand down, and immediately you are dry. Motions
Well,
to
that's
you, Arrow.
wonderful.
Does the same. Resuscitation. Just to let you folks know, we'll be closing the area off in about 15 minutes, but feel free to peruse and admire.
Are the grounds are not open all hours of the night?
No. Generally, it is open for sunlight, for the ability to read within the grounds. At night, it's generally not looked upon poorly, but definitely difficult to do so. So we close the grounds for safety reasons.
I understand. Is he still going to stand there, or can we continue our conversation?
There's a minute where it's him turning his focus from you guys and towards the actual fountain. You just hear under his breath, "Damn thing." And sort of gets back to his patrol.
Sorry, is everybody hanging around here?
I'm like stealthing in the back.
For
Okay.
those who are stealthing, roll me a stealth check.
I was gonna say, can I go ahead and try to investigate for Legati, but I'll do stealth first.
I can allow those who want to do another investigation check, which would
Oh, I get a +1 to this
actually would
one.
be Morse and Diva. If you are with the rest of the party, you guys can do investigation check, or one person gives the other one help. I will raise the DC by 2 though.
Morris, you want to roll or you want to help?
I will help. I'm helping.
That's not bad. That's gonna be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Phoenix,
23.
23. Guards don't know where you are. Your party doesn't know where you are, but they have an idea that you're probably hidden.
I mean, I would have told them. I was like, I'm out.
Phoenix has picked a select tree and was like, that one. Because it is an open yard. It's like
I
hard
mean,
to
that's
hide.
my background of like finding, I forgot how the verbiage is, but like finding like the nooks and crannies. That's why I say me and Legati work well.
It's just hard because it is an open grass field.
Yeah.
And the only places to hide would probably inside trees. Just sort of in the
Which she's
branches.
good at.
Which she's good at. We've just established that's where you sleep. A 20. Okay. You're not actively pushing or pressing anything. You are more just sort of getting an assessment.
I would say I'm kind of like trying to knowing that he went for the fountain spell, I'm probably like feeling around for something off.
Yeah, you start to circle the fountain, keeping an eye out where those seams are that Legati informed you last time. I think something clicks and you think, I'm going to try this. And you put your finger around the edging inside the fountain and start to trail it. And you start to walk and you feel something. You feel a slight bump that the other pieces of the fountain does not have. This like indentation on the other side.
I'll go ahead and push in on the indentation.
You press it. It slides in. If you press it all the way, you think it's going to trigger something.
We wait till the guards leave.
Yeah, we don't want to be seen doing that part of it.
Who's nearby me?
I'm there for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
just not like, so if I move this further, something's going to click, and I don't know what it will do.
Would you like to obscure the area?
We should
A
I
beautiful
think we
foggy night sounds lovely now.
maybe wait for 15 minutes until the guards are gone. We need to get back in here.
Really?
So they're not. Otherwise, if this door opens, it will be very visible to the guards.
Well, just as a heads up, the guards have informed you guys, visitors, that you guys need to leave in 15 minutes. The guards are not
Yeah.
going to leave.
How far are they?
I'm
I'm up in this fucking tree. I'm looking.
I'll say the first guard is way back in the field, probably like 120 feet away.
Okay.
The other one that just spoke to you guys is currently circling and making his rounds. I'll say he's getting close to you, Phoenix, in your tree, about maybe 30 feet. I'm starting to close in.
I'm very quiet. I was gonna give a signal to them to like, yo, if they're both moving, like, do it, but I'll wait.
I don't know. I think a foggy night might be helpful right
Fog
now.
and then just get in there, and maybe we can shut the door after us.
The only reason I'm hesitant is someone's not here.
Where did
Bean?
They look-
You guys just caught on she's not here?
I will wait for him to get like 60 feet closer to the other guard, and then I will be like, "Psst,
okay.
if you're gonna do the fog cloud, you might want to do it now.
I'll say this then. Phoenix, roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna be the lookout.
The dice, it's not gonna be an asshole. Trust it. Oh, ha! Natural 20, so 24.
Natural 20s are saving the day today, guys.
Let's go.
Damn.
Yeah, you are in a tree, keeping an eye out. You could see that they're wearing this white cloaked, over armor, so they're easily seen.
Living my best life.
And the guy just turns, makes a circle, is still staying within space of the crew of your team here. And I think you hear how lucky we're going to be today. The guard that's like 120 feet, now a bit further, goes, "Hey, I saw something over here." The other one kind of looks over and goes, "I'll be right there." Begins to walk away.
Like she gives like a 5 countdown, and then like when he's out of the way, she's gonna go jump down. Run back over. Okay, now, whatever you're gonna do. Sorry, I was hiding. They found something over there. Now, whatever you're gonna do.
I drop a fog cloud.
I'll go back, find the indentation, and slide to. Once I feel covered, click.
Something clicks. The spout. Well, actually, no, you guys are coded in the
Fog close.
fog cloud. You just hear this. It sounds like water draining, like down an actual drain. And then you hear sort of a soft rumble of of stone against stone. And if you were to poke your face out of the fog cloud, there has been a stone slab, part of that indentation that wasn't fully flush, has dropped, and there is a cool entrance inside, like an entranceway within the fountain.
I'm gonna step to it first, since I should be able to still sense it, and quietly beckon each of my friends to it and help them down until they're out of the fog.
Titan falls. Arrows walks by. I just grab him.
Yeah.
Him, everyone.
Everyone starts to get led by Arrow. The only one who doesn't need sight, starting to lead everyone in. Arrow, with your own blind sense, you can see that there is a lever inside the fountain that can be pulled.
I will pull it.
It's a tight spot. All of you guys are currently squeezed in. Even like the fact that Morse is in here. Morse is like pressed against the inside of this fountain. Just
Hope nobody's claustrophobic.
the slab comes back up, and you guys are trapped inside. And it is, you guys are literally pressed up against each other, and it is like running out of air moment of, I can't move, and we're in a stone cylindrical space. And then as you feel movement,
That's nice.
and for those who are pressed against the wall, you can feel the actual stone structure like rubbing against your skin, your clothing, your armor.
Oh, I don't like that. I'd rather be a sandwich. I want to be in the middle.
So, and then a slab falls, and it's like releasing everything. Just everyone drops out.
How far down did we go? Less than 120 feet, or?
You went down, less than 120 feet.
Okay, then I'm gonna. Did I notice the fountain close with the lever pull?
You?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have, because your blind
Okay.
sense. And that's also a scary thing. You guys were all in a fog cloud in a cylindrical space it's the worst.
It's fine.
You're dead.
Then I'm going to kind of let the fog cloud above just kind of drift away to like the farthest reaches of my control to kind of seem like, oh, this is just a natural fog passing by, and then I'll allow it to dissipate.
Let it naturally. The fact that you were able to dispel it in such a way is just, you sort of feel that connection separate. You're like, okay, it's gone. Who's the first one who looks out of this little hidden elevator space you were in?
Is it still dark?
It's dark.
Arrow.
I will look.
You look, I just bring light. I've just put my hand up with a little
I can
bit of
see
flame.
120 feet in darkness. Good drow.
You peer outwards, and there is 2 light sources. You're looking at a hallway. You've emerged out of a hallway. Look to your right, up an incline on a staircase, and you can see a velvet red rope, 2 guards, and their backs. And then you look to your left as the staircase continuously goes down, and it leads to a double door sort of end of the hallway. This thing heads down, and you are behind the guards you were talking to.
I will quietly down and to the left.
Let's go that way.
Everyone roll me a stealth check.
There's not a way we can help Legati.
Not without... this is going to be a group check, so unfortunately you are subject to a stealth check. Your action is doing that.
I was gonna say, doesn't anyone have silence?
Nope, I have.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
It's cleric spell, bro.
Diva.
22.
Oh shit.
I also
Legati.
got 5.
Legati.
Hold on. I got to roll my disadvantage. I got a 15 because I am proficient with stealth while I am a cat.
Phoenix.
22.
Morse.
Lucky number 7.
And Arrow.
24.
Wow.
That's actually fitting.
Yeah.
Everyone right now is heading downwards. There's a moment, Morse, where you're heading down this stairwell, and you miss a step. And you're wearing metal armor and metal boots and coverings, so you know that the moment your heel hits the stone stair, it's gonna hit something. But before you lose balance, I'll say one of your companions just sort of grabs your shoulder, and you're like, "Oh, okay."
Thank you.
Head downward. With the group stealth being more than half, you hear footsteps on the other side of the door, and all of you press yourselves against. As part of the stealth check, the door opens, and you see an older-looking man, like almost blonde hair is turning white a little bit, wearing just sort of like archivist robings, like a scribe. Has a soft, like ever so light illuminated sort of wand, and is currently just reading. Gives a yawn, closes the book, rubs his eyes as he continues going up the stairs, and left the door open. You guys can just
Let's go in.
slip inside. It is a black wooden spiraling staircase that heads further down in this room.
Down we go, I guess.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whee!
On the rails,
Yeah.
We're just diving deeper and deeper into the abyss.
all of a sudden, Arrow has soap shoes.
No! He likes
she's-
quick forms of transportation. Cart.
He's so
railing.
cool. He's grinding on the rails. You go down 50, 100 feet down
Jesus.
until this space starts to open up. And from what you can see from your current vantage point is this... let's see if I can find a good representation on my end so I can get a good descriptive. It leads out into this stone-stepped, stone-floored space where there are... It's like this several hundred feet large and long, about 100 feet tall from like the floor to ceiling, just shelves filled with scrolls and books and tombs. There are a couple of... You know what? I'm doing a very bad way of describing it. Let me show you.
Oh, good!
Oh no. Oh no. It's a map. I don't like it.
I'm like, can I get hasted in here so I can just run around like a crazy person? Because I would love to.
Oh, have fun.
I don't like it.
This is fine. You guys know that
It's a library.
It's like that scene from Monsters University.
You are on, even though you've gone downstairs or underground, you've emerged out of the second story. There's a railing that you can look over, and you can see that there is more library down below. That drops about 100 feet. There are walls and walls and walls of these shelves, and you can see that there are these white cloaked individuals who currently are holding staffs, who are just perusing and keeping an eye out. You see there are like these Ioun librarians currently just walking, and this one breaks sight of your view. This one does as well. But you just saw him for a brief moment. Shit. And you know that you're not alone.
I'll remove my cloak and actually use my glamored armor to mimic the appearance of an Ioun librarian, of whoever I just saw.
That's what your armor can do.
Yeah.
Starts to shape.
And I am going to also then immediately break off for one of the nearest shelves.
Okay. Go ahead and move your token.
I'll probably go over this way. Fewer people that way.
What is everyone else doing?
I don't know about y'all, but I am staying right here.
I actually think that's the best you think you could do, Moors.
Great lookout.
Yeah, you look out.
The goal is to take things, right?
Yeah.
That's the goal. The guy that passed us that didn't see us that was reading, was he one of these guys?
He
Or
looked
was
like
he-
one of these guys. Same white robes, sort of a scribe outfit.
Kind of want to go up there in like that corner.
Because the way the map was created and how it's built, I'm saying that there's these gray little spots on the very edge of the map. That is another part of the walkway. So technically, like Arrow, you can slink around this shelving space here. The wall would be at the edge of the map.
I'm currently like perusing. I'm gonna start pulling out scrolls and like trying to. I'm looking for something specific.
Okay. I do have a process in terms of finding something specific. It's a harder roll if you are looking for something very direct. If you're being semi-broad, the DC is a little lower. And if you're just being, I'm looking for something, you're being so broad, I can give you anything, the DC is lowered again.
Okay. I'm looking for anything on the subject of resurrection.
Okay. I'll say that is semi-broad.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Can I help if I'm just because I don't know what the fuck I'm looking for? I just go follow.
I don't make it known what I'm looking for. I'm just gonna be peeping
Yeah.
around.
I think this is
Oh, I
just-
don't care what you're looking for. I'm just trying to help because Phoenix does not know what she's supposed to do in here.
I'm gonna say this is Arrow.
Okay.
One.
Okay, not my best. That's an 11.
11.
Mm.
Not in the current section you're looking at.
Okay.
I guess because they went that way, Phoenix and Arrow, I'm gonna go the other way. Legati, do you want to come with?
I could potentially make up to 2 of us invisible. There are 4 of us, though, who don't have the ability that Arrow does. Who is a very good liar, in case you get caught, or particularly good at stealth. Maybe that's how we
Stealth.
should decide. Yeah. Stealth. Anyone else stealth or lying?
I mean, I think Morse is the better liar than I am, but I probably could lie my way through. No.
Morris, do you just want to like wait back here by the door, out of sight, and?
I'm gonna do that, but before I do, just in case, I'm going to. I think this spell has vocal components to it. I believe. I don't recall correctly, but I'm just gonna say it quietly. I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Legati and say, "Please don't die."
Wow.
Okay. Morris, you are concentrating on that spell. Is it concentration?
Super concentration.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
So giving you that.
I'm touched, Morris. I'll be very careful.
I don't believe you.
One quick thing that you guys can see is that on the opposite side of this map, you see that the pathway continues. So there is more to this library than just this room that you can see. In addition to that, downstairs, there's a pathway that leads also sort of northwards, but on the first floor. You guys are on the second.
I'm going to cast invisibility as a third level spell on myself and Diva. Make us invisible.
Okay. Disappears.
All right, let's go look for stuff, and then everybody come back here when you're ready to get out. Assuming something terrible doesn't happen, in which case I'm sure we'll hear it. All right, good luck.
Like Legati's the loosey goosey parent.
I'm gonna move
fine.
our librarians a little bit.
I'm very
As
confident.
time is moving
Straight
on.
up guy, yeah.
And before we do so, as they kind of go about doing their thing, the little room where we were just in, where we came down the stairs, is there like a little nook I can fit myself into, like where I can just kind of be, out of sight, out of mind?
Yeah, you can sort of head back. We can say that you're like over here hiding behind the pillar.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, out of mind. That just leaves you, Phoenix, who's currently out in the open without a disguise.
I kind of want to go like either straight through or underneath. There. Straight through. But stealthy. So she's probably like trying to hide in the corners and shit.
Roll me stealth check.
You're gonna monk the room.
That's the idea.
Parkour.
Okay. Math. Plus 6. 24.
24 is damn good. If you were stealthing, meaning you were moving half movement, so you
25.
can dash, but that'll just mean your full movement.
Okay. Yeah.
So where are you going?
Yeah, I know. That's where I gotta figure out because I got 50. And not in these bitches' ways.
Oh, so you're falling down.
Yeah, I want to go through, but I'm like, want to go through like hiding corners and stuff, so I'm not just out there straight.
Well, you keep saying through. You mean you are going 100 feet
Forward.
down?
Yeah.
Down and
Oh, yeah.
forward.
Down and forward.
Okay. Before you even get down, before you even get forward, you have to get down.
Okay. How do I do that?
So that requires I think that's going to require an athletics check. 'Cause there's
Sweet.
nothing that you can bounce across. This is very important because this may negate your stealth check, because if you fail this badly, you're going to fall and crash into something.
Can I use slow fall?
Do you have slow fall?
Yes, sir.
Read slow fall for me. 'Cause at this level, there might be a limitation.
Because remember, I didn't realize I had it, and then I was like, shit, I should have used it.
Slow fall monks. Okay.
Hold on. 1 sec, I gotta find it. Put it down here. Slow fall. Beginning at 4th level, you can use your reaction when you fall to reduce any falling damage you take by the amount equal 5 times your monk level.
So the amount equal 5 times your month. So 5 times what?
5. Yeah.
5 times what?
25.
Oh, so it's 25. You can reduce up to 25 feet of fall damage, but you're falling 100 feet. So technically you'd be taking 75 feet of fall damage, which is
Wait, I thought it would-
76.
I thought it's 25 damage is what you reduce.
Oh, 25. Okay, so you are falling 100 feet minus 25.
Yeah,
that it?
if I
Yeah,
fail, right?
whatever
You
dice
would roll the
roll.
damage and then
then-
minus 25.
Minus
damage.
25 from the
It
damage.
doesn't
Okay.
affect the feat, it affects the
So that is 10d6 minus 25.
That might be bad. That was just outright killer.
There is furniture you could jump on.
Yeah, no, that's
Narrow-
just like if I fail.
Is kind of near this railing. He's a little bit more focused, but if he sees someone just plummeting, specifically his someone like red hair, like orange fire hair, he will cast Featherfall as a reaction.
I haven't even rolled yet. What do I need to
Let's see how bad this is.
Yeah, let's see how bad it is
This
first.
is athletics check.
Okay.
I believe in you.
I'm not bad to athletics.
This is less of an acrobatic feat, and this is more of you putting enough pressure on the jump to aim for something soft
You know what?
when you're landing.
This other one's nice. Be good. Okay. The hell is athletics? 25 with my rock.
Yeah, you're gonna aim for this couch over here. It has a bigger surface area to land in, so you're jumping. Let's do 76. You won't land prone. I'll say with your success check here, you are going to hit the floor or this couch and not make a sound, or enough so where it alerts people.
Sweet.
You're able to grab onto some of the wall and reduce your fall by an amount.
Yep. We'll see.
But you're still gonna get hurt. It's still a 100-foot fall. It's still gonna hurt.
Let's see by how much.
That's a lot of rolls.
Yeah, that's a lot of dice. I don't like it. 25.
Minus 25.
Minus 25.
That's gonna be 41 points of damage.
Oh my
Okay.
Oh, minus
Reduce-
25.
Minus.
But reduced by 25 though.
Which is what? Somebody math for me. I think either way, she's not great.
Wait, where's my calculator?
41 minus 25. 16.
That's not terrible.
Still not great.
We can tank that. That's fine.
It is more on your ankles and knees as the
You just-
cushion like stresses for a brief moment. You can hear the sound of the wood that's currently holding it up just go.
Nobody hears it, but there is a silent fuck. Straight at that.
So Phoenix is.
I
down.
heard it.
Legati, Diva, and Morse, you see just as Phoenix has left eyesight, this person has turned a corner. And Phoenix, you can look up and you can see 100 feet above just a glowing light, and you're like,
Yep, gotta go.
makes his way this way. Sees you, arrow currently shifting through things, but I'll say roll me a deception check with advantage.
Oh God, I don't trust any of my dice right now.
Because either it's you looking like you should be here and like you're perusing correctly, or it's like, I'm gonna check here.
That's good. That looks like it's in order. There.
Okay.
There.
Deception at advantage?
Deception with advantage.
Not this one again. Okay, you flew. Unnecessarily so. That was an 8. Or no, sorry. A 9, because the other one did better.
Doesn't say a word. Cock's ahead. Morse, Legati, and Diva, you see from your vantage point, just begins to pick up pace in terms of their walk.
Oobly.
Mm.
Yo, you could fall in a hole. Maybe I can catch you.
And
I have
start to
purple. It's fine.
get close.
We shove him off the edge.
That's what I'm thinking. A nice breeze somewhere, or can you like?
I'm done with this bookshelf, I imagine. So
Yeah, you look left and you're like, oh shit.
Can you
like,
cause
what
a
action-
noise distraction in the other direction? Throw a marble.
I think I'll kind of like look back toward that person, do a double take as I realize that that person's approaching me. But also in that moment, I'm gonna try to subtly cast like dancing lights and make it look like I'm pointing at something behind them.
Roll me a sleight of hand check. See if you can do it stealthily.
I don't trust my dice. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. So, 10?
I think it's only fair that I roll this digitally so it could be seen.
Awful.
Let me double check their perception score. Okay, they don't have any proficiency with perception, but they do have a +3 to their wisdoms. So a 10 on I think a 6 or lower, you were able to subtly cast this without them noticing that you're doing arcane. So
No pressure.
+3.
Everything's fine.
Thank God.
Let's go.
The one time you're glad to see it that one.
You grab a piece of like a tome or something to like block your hand motion as you're like, okay, go. And motion towards that. 4 dancing orbs behind them as they're currently walking, and they can see the illumination. They're like,
And while their back is turned, I'm gonna have them start to like kind of flutter about, almost like, you know, like spirit orbs.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
kind of make them
will-o-wisps.
almost look ghostly, and then just sort of like head back toward one of the bookshelves that was over there.
You get a sense, I'll say Morse, Legati, and Diva, you're seeing all this happen. Like, you guys are so close. Like, you're against the rails. You're kind of watching all of this play out. Everyone roll me an insight check. Morse, Legati, and Diva.
That's a nat 20. Why? The time I don't want it.
That'll be a 17 for me.
3.
3. Both Diva and Morse, this guy cocks ahead, sees the dancing lights, takes a step forward, and there's a look upon a face like a recognition. This is Ioun's library. And this god is a god of arcana and magic. This is not an unknowable spell. And it's less of what is this and more of who's casting that. And is going to, for a brief, I think you recognize, like, it's not an immediacy, and it's more of, and now they're on, like, this one is on high alert, currently looking around. But we'll walk this way to look at the dancing lights and go. And I will say, while this is happening, Arrow, are you moving or where are you going?
Yup. I am going right around to break eye line.
Okay. Just as you do that, Legati, Diva, and Morris, you see this person turns back and does not see Arrow. And there is a connection. There is a moment of, wait a minute.
No. Me?
And it is starting.
I whispered to Legati, new plan. Knock him out. Take his robe.
Not a terrible plan, but anything we do is going to negate the invisibility.
Well, we'll have a free robe though, so you could stay invisible. I'll stay to do it. I'll do it. Take the robe. You stay invisible. I can just push him into Morse. Morse will do it.
Just real quick, is there okay? So it's the Gaudy Diva and myself, and then that librarian is like on a floor above us, right?
No, he's near us.
So are you looking at the map?
He's right in front of me.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's right in front of you.
Oh,
So my plan is I shove
Just
him
punch him, Morse.
into you. I'll drop my invisibility, but you can knock him out.
I mean, I'm not Rolly.
But you're in armor.
Is the armor gonna knock him out?
The
Or
big
these
hammer
hands.
is, boy.
These
Or these
hands.
hands. These hands don't have the strength Rolly
They've done
does.
things.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna go along with their plan. Seeing as the guy is right in front of me, I'm just going to. Okay, I'm gonna do this in a very particular way.
Just as what's
What?
the word I'm looking for?
Grab?
Smuggle him. Yeah, that. Grasp.
gag
him,
gag him.
I'm going to chokehold him while also covering his mouth.
Roll me either roll me athletics check, and you could do it with advantage because you are hidden. And he will roll either athletics or acrobatics. Oh, jeez.
I will go with athletics.
He's just a priest, you guys.
We're just bullying the nerds.
He's about to be a dead priest.
That's why so far I have not telekinetically pushed him over the edge to fall to his death because he is just a priest.
Oh yeah, this guy's getting it.
If you get
It'll be
10
a-
over, if you get 10
it'll be a
over what I rolled
kill
here,
him.
Four.
you can gag him because grappling him is one thing, gagging him is another. If you get 10 over what I rolled here, you can do both.
I rolled a 24.
That's I rolled a 5.
Oh.
You said athletics, and that was my thing. I'm very athletic. I might not be strong, but I'm very athletic.
Is it a person with a goal and is like, I know that spell. You know, I recognize that. Who's that? I don't know who that is. They're acting weird and starting to make their way that way. You can hear the soft murmurings between Invisible, Legati, and Diva. Like, what do we do? I don't know what we do. He's coming this way. And you're like, I got this. And out of the... and behind the pillar, just...
out of the shadows.
One arm around his entire body because you're such a big guy. And this guy's just an archivist. Just... You lift him up and he goes... grab his face immediately.
Sleep.
Roll me an athletics check. You don't have like the grappler's feet to like put this out, but I'll say eventually he's gonna get tired. 10 over what I got? What'd you get?
Very much so.
I got a 9, so 19 DC.
26. Natural 20.
Oh, natural 20. You put the hand over him and he's like, and he's struggling. You're just like, go to bed. Natural 20, go to bed. And he's like, oh, like the blood is starting to rush to his head. He's like, you're cutting off circulation until you feel the arms that are fighting you just and goes lax and falls on the ground.
Well, Mors, you can wear the robe now.
No, I like the shadows.
Yeah, maybe Diva grab the robes. Moors keep him unconscious. We gotta be browsing quick.
Also, I just want to let everyone know I haven't put him down yet.
Yeah, just still he's like,
I'm still holding him.
Just stuck him in the corner you were in.
Put him on
I
the
wanna make
couch
sure
over
that-
there.
I want to make
you're
sure
gonna throw him
that
100 feet down into the couch?
No, oh yeah, I forgot that's down. Never mind.
I'm
Don't throw him
surprised
down
there's
there.
no seating areas up here. Just stump him somewhere with a book.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to him for just a couple more seconds just to make sure he's out. Then I'm gonna drag him over to the stairs. I'm going to disrobe him, and then I'm gonna grab the robes, and then I'm going to put them somewhere on me so that I have them. And then I'll let them know. All right.
Fantastic work. Make sure he doesn't wake up.
Okay, let's go.
I'll need a dagger for that.
We'll be quick.
Oh, okay. Well, then be quick.
Arrow. I'll say let's do Phoenix, and then we'll do Arrow, and then we'll call it a session. But first and foremost, Phoenix, you get yourself off the couch. Where do you go?
I'm like confused with the map.
By the way, crazy thing, it's not an easy way to get back up.
Of course it's not. Of course.
You can
fucking-
climb, but it takes some time.
There are bookshelves. Those are basically ladders.
They're basically.
I
just don't
climb
knock the book
trees.
off.
It's fine. I think she's probably looking for something out of the norm. Like, because where we were, there was a shit ton of scrolls and everything. And Tavin's like, there's important artifacts in here. So she's just looking for something really important to snatch and then run back up.
Okay, first and foremost, roll me a investigation check. And I'm going to say, in conjunction with that, roll me a stealth check. Because even though there's one guard down, there's still 2 others who are currently patrolling the space.
Okay. 16 for investigation.
16.
Oh, wait. Plus the rock, 17.
17.
Okay. That's plus 6. 22 for stealth.
I'll say that you have to get out a little bit out into the open, but behind some of these chairs and desks, you can see that there's a guard like right here, 100 feet up, the light up. You see mainly tomes, books and scrolls in this space.
Okay.
Nothing that looks like a solid artifact. Arrow, light comes into view as you kind of curve the corner and immediately meet eyes with this librarian.
Evening. And I'll just kind of keep my head down and keep walking.
Roll me a deception check. I'll say again with advantage because you are currently disguised.
Pick a different dice, girl.
Yeah. I think they can like smell my fear.
Yeah, I was like, don't put bad juju. Just say you're gonna roll high. We're gonna
You're
roll
gonna roll
high.
high. We believe it.
Everything's fine. See, I couldn't even say that without feeling it. Okay.
We're gonna
Decep-
roll freaking high. Advantage.
Honestly, no witnesses is a very vague strategy, right? Yeah. So my first roll was a nat 20.
We gotta put it out in the ether.
You guys hyped it up, thank you. And my deception is a +0, so that's just a 20.
It's just a 20.
Just a 20? Natural 20?
Natural 20.
I'm still, yeah, you cross this person. They, evening. You make your rounds. They make theirs. They stop. And they go, brother, did you lose your staff? As they're holding the illuminated staffs, patrolling.
I will turn my head back and say, yes, but it's not a problem for me.
Okay. I'll say that they do not immediately react to you, but this person is from low priority to now medium. It's sort of natural 20 means you skip that. They don't. But the fact that you are missing some elements of the dress code is concerning. And I think that's what we're going to call today's session, as you guys currently still searching, perusing, and trying to evade these librarians' eyes. Librarians?
Librarians.
But
I know, English is not your
possessive?
thing.
I didn't realize there was a Z in that word.
New word.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone, for episode 25. See you guys next time.
Sleep.